We lost George Denny on August 28th, 2020. George was an amazing friend, an amazing mentor. His words of wisdom were priceless. His energy towards really being clear about focusing on the goals and his understanding and thoughts about brand were invaluable to me and Shipyard in the early days especially. His impact in Freeport and with his family and his friends continue on. I just wanted to take a moment through this video, which we did a number of years ago, and I wanted to share it with everyone because his words of wisdom have helped me and I think will help many other entrepreneurs. Thank you, George. Cheers.
In 1975, I wanted to help create Freeport all over again, and I thought by opening up my first store in Freeport, it would work. I stood on the sidewalk across from LL Beans, and I watched the cars coming in and the people and the license plates and said, that's my customer. That's my customer. A lot of people said, hey, George, what are you doing? You got to be nuts. I don't know, nobody's going to pay $100 for a pair of shoes. But it worked. I've lived now in Freeport going on 72 years. I was born in Brooklyn, and I came to Freeport with my grandparents. And then my mother wanted me to go back and live with her. And I said, no, because I was right down Mass Landing. I was right on the Mass Landing, the Harrisika River. And in the summertime, you could go fishing, you could go swimming, and I was only a mile from downtown. And I had great buddies that were right in that neighborhood. I didn't want to go down to Brooklyn. LL Bean was right there in town. I spent a year working there. I was only making $1 an hour at LL Bean's, and I wanted to make more money. I got a job roughing the bottoms of shoes at the Freeport Shoe Company. And then I had the opportunity to go over to the Taylor Shoe Corporation. And I was over there working on a part-time basis. Then an opportunity came for me to get a full-time job at Eastland Shoe. I was over there 2 weeks, and I got a call from my foreman from the Taylor Shoe Corporation. He says, hey, George, they need somebody downstairs to work with in the IBM department. And I really think that'd be a good opportunity for you. So I went over, interviewed, took the job, and in about a year and a half or less, I ended up being the supervisor of the IBM. Then eventually kept working my way up the ladder. First I was office manager, then leather buyer, then became sales manager, and then became the president of the company. In 1975, we had a deep recession. We had two factories. We had a factory here in Freeport, where we made genuine hand sews, and then we had a factory in Augusta where we made welted shoes. I had to close the hand sewn factory here and move it up to Augusta. And then kept on going the best we could. But then, believe it or not, one week, we couldn't meet payroll. The Taylor Shoe Corporation sold it, I think it was around 72 or 73, to a company out of New York called Standard Industries. And I called Standard Industries and they said, hey, George, we need you to do that for us. $25,000. I put up the money, $25,000 for payroll, and then I got paid back out of the receivables, but then we had to shut down. I had to call all the employees up to the top floor and tell them we're shutting down. And it broke my heart. And it broke a lot of theirs, too. The Standard Industries said to me, hey, George, we want you to stay on board because we're going to work with some local banks, and we want to reopen Cole Haan. I said, okay, I'm willing to do that as long as I can get my back pay. But if we don't reopen, I want all the labels. And they said, A-OK. Wow. And I said, let's go. So anyway, I hung on, and we tried to get the local banks to do financing, but they wouldn't do it. So I ended up with all the labels, and I got the TaylorMade label, I got British Walker, I got Sam Snead because we made golf shoes, and then I got Cole Haan. Cole Haan was my favorite brand because the footwear we developed for the Cole Haan brand was for clothing stores. I connected with a hide broker down in New York City. I went down to New York and said, okay, I will go ahead and do that, but I want to do it out of Maine, not here in New York City.
Right.
I'll have a showroom here, but that's it. What I did was I created a great store. In the basement, I had outlet shoes. In the main floor, I had regular price merchandise. And then upstairs, I put in clothing, men's and women's. And so it was a store where you could come in and buy some clothing and then go downstairs and buy shoes to go with the clothing. And it really worked. I opened up 2 stores in New York City, one in Chicago, one in Montreal, Texas, California, all of the major cities. I opened up Cole Haan stores at regular price merchandise. I eventually became a partner, and they wanted me to be a partner because I owned the label.
Smart.
I had 2 partners, and they wanted to sell the company. We connected with Nike, and they bought it in 1988. And I stayed there and was president of the company, kept on growing it every year, bigger and bigger and bigger. What built the brand was the product, and I had good people had a good background in the shoe industry, and we all worked together. We got a plan of work our plan, stay focused. Eventually, Nike started to send some of their people into the company, and I said, well, it's time for me to go do something else. When I opened that store, downtown Freeport, that is what really got Freeport going, because then other people saw what Freeport had accomplished. In 2001, I started the Freeport Community Improvement Association, where we cleaned up all the exits, put in signs that said, welcome to Freeport. I really made it look very attractive. It wasn't just because I wanted to get more tourists coming to the town. I wanted Freeport, the people who lived in Freeport, to feel really good that Freeport's the way we were developing it. I'd like to see Maine grow in a good way. It's been difficult. Maine's a very large state, but the people here in the state, they're great workers. It's just that we've moved so much overseas. Now things are beginning to come back. And you're seeing companies that are saying, I need more employees. So things are changing. When I have friends and we sit down and we talk, they admire, from where I've been to where I am. And I've been in some situations that haven't been that great, but you learn by doing. And I coach everybody now is, plan your work your plan, stay focused.